Okay, hi everyone. Happy Monday. Yeah, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and just message in the chat line if you aren't able to hear, if you're having any issues. We have Olga monitoring the chat line. And if you can just put hello in the chat if this is your first time joining us for the sisterhood. And if it's your second time joining, if you can type in the chat high five, or not second, if it's a repeat time, you've been with us before, type high five. So everybody can access the chat, that's great. And okay, so we'll jump right into our Strong as a Mother, Strong as a Woman theme this week. And this is our 6th virtual sisterhood, and it really has been so amazing to watch it grow. Each week we focus on a theme and we touch on what we call our 3 pillars of health, which are mindset, movement, and micronutrients. So each week we bring in special expert sisters in each of those categories. And so I love the lineup that we've come up with today. And I guess, yeah, Kira, I'm going to pass it over to you to share with us the words you've selected.
Sure. Okay. So every week we're going to come up with 3 attributes of what it means to be a sister that align with our theme of the week. So this week, our theme is strength. And, you know, when I think of strength, strong as a woman, and I think of women coming together as sisters in sisterhood, 3 attributes that come to mind for me are resilient, vulnerable, and wild. So I would love if you guys have a pen and paper, you can write these qualities down. We'll also send this out in the notes from today, but it can be a really beautiful practice to just come back to these words throughout the next few days or weeks when you want to kind of come back to that feminine sisterhood energy within. So again, those 3 words for me are resilient, vulnerable, and wild.
Those are awesome words, Kira. I love it. So write those 3 words down and just say them throughout the day, throughout the week, and just really put them at the forefront of your mind. All right, so we're going to move into our first component, which is movement. I'd like to introduce just a really special friend of mine, Sjoukje Remark. Sjoukje Josik, actually. She got married this summer. And Sjoukje, basically, I became a naturopathic doctor and I worked at a clinic for 2 years. And then I stumbled across Sjoukje's clinic, Continuum Wellness. And so I feel like I really got my start at her clinic. And it was just such a feel-good atmosphere when I walked in. And when I met Sjoukje, I just knew that we were sisters, right, Sjoukje?
Yes, it was love at first sight.
Yeah, we are mompreneurs together, and I've learned a lot from Sjoukje over the years and how to navigate the tides of small business and everything that entails, as well as motherhood and just our friendship. Sjoukje is just a really special person. So when I was putting together the attributes of what a sister is, Sjoukje just popped in my mind that I need Sjoukje as part of this, and she fits perfectly in line with the movement component. So today we're all going to share our squishy faces on Zoom. It will be quite the sight as Sjoukje guides us through an uplifting jaw massage.
Awesome.
Sjoukje.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Sjoukje. Professionally, people know me as Sjoukje Remark, but I did get married last summer, so I'm now Sjoukje Josik. Yeah, I'm excited to be here to guide you guys through a face and jaw massage. It's something that I see in my practice a lot as a registered massage therapist. So I'm an RMT. I've been an RMT for, 15 years, and I own a massage therapy clinic. So in my practice, I do see a lot of people come in with tension headaches and a lot of tension in through the jaw and through the face. And often we don't realize how much tension we hold on to, like in through our jaw and face, until we start experiencing headaches, or we start experiencing a heaviness through our face, or just almost like a toothache or pain in through our jaw. That's actually often a referral pain that's coming from the muscles in through our face. So if you tend to clench your jaw, grind your teeth, and hold your jaw in kind of odd positions when you're stressed, this is going to feel really, really nice. So you can do this without any oil or anything like that, but I find it is a little bit easier if your face is damp, or if you do have a little bit of oil on your skin or on your fingertips. You can use like anything like a jojoba oil or any sort of carrier oil that you like. Jojoba is really good for the skin. Argan oil is also really nice. Or if you prefer not to have oil, you can use like your favorite lotion that you can put onto your hands that you massage into your face. Or you can even take like a rose water or like witch hazel and just spray the face to dampen the skin. And again, you can do this with nothing. If you're just, at a red light and you're feeling tension in through your jaw, you can use these techniques without anything on your face or on your hands. But I guess considering everything that's going on, I would highly advise washing your hands first before touching your face. But yeah, so we can get started. You guys can follow along with me and do these techniques, or you can take notes, or I'm not sure if Tara's recording, but maybe we can all be able to watch this afterwards if you just want to enjoy and watch. But basically, I would just start by finding a comfortable position, taking a moment to roll your shoulders back, maybe close your eyes, take a deep breath, and just do a bit of a scan. See what you're doing with your jaw right now. Are you clenching? Maybe you can allow your jaw to relax. See what your tongue is doing. Is it pressed up to the roof of your mouth? Are you contracting your tongue muscle? Just allow your tongue to relax and let it fall down from the roof of your mouth. And then what I like to do is before starting on the face, just doing something to open up the neck to allow for some lymphatic drainage and to open up the structures below the face before we start. So just making a V shape with your hand and placing it along the line of your jaw. So kind of your thumb and finger are near the base of the ear. And just start by gently pulling forward. So you're almost doing like this clasping motion. And just pulling from the ears down to the chin. And you can work your way down your neck. And not pushing too hard. You don't want to block off the airway or your circulation, but just enough that you can feel the drag on your skin and the opening up through the neck. I'm going to do that a couple times. I find it feels so good just right along your jawline, right underneath your jawline. There's a lot of lymphatic vessels and lymph nodes in this area, so it's a great way just to stimulate the lymph and the circulation before we start to work on the face. And then from here, we can take our fingertips and place them on our chin. And again, you can do this without oil or lotion. But if you find you want a little bit more of a glide, some oil or lotion would be helpful. But just starting from the chin and working your way up the side of your face towards your ear. Just doing this nice stroking action. I guess I'm fortunate. I naturally have oily skin, so I'm gliding just fine. We'll do that a couple times. And you might even feel some bumps along the way. That's totally normal. Those are your muscles and some of the attachments, and you may even be feeling your teeth. And then from here, we get a little bit more specific. So if you take the palms of your hands and place them on your cheeks and actually clench down and bite, you can feel these muscles pop out into the palms of your hands. This is the masseter muscle. It's responsible for chewing, clenching, grinding. So this is a key muscle that we want to target when we want to help relax the muscle of the face and reduce some of the tension. So once you locate that muscle, you can take your fingertips and then just gently push it into that muscle, or if you're a bit of a sucker for that deep tissue feel free to press a little bit harder. And if you find a spot that's tender, just hang out there for a moment. push into it, take a deep breath, see what it feels like. Maybe one side is more tender than the other. Maybe one side feels tighter than the other. Just hang out there for a moment. And then you can keep moving around that muscle. You can always go back to putting the palms on your chin, on your cheeks, if you want to relocate that muscle that we found. So you can do point compressions here. You can do a circular motion here. And if you find, again, if you find kind of that tight spot or that tender spot, we can include a stretch while we're holding that tight spot. And we would just do that by opening up the mouth. So find a tender spot and then open up the mouth while you're doing that. If it's too tender, just ease up on the pressure a bit, but go through the range. If you have issues with your temporal mandibular joint, or if you have TMJ dysfunction, just being cautious about how wide you open your mouth. But this is a great way to challenge the muscle while stretching it and massaging it. Now, if you want to go a little bit deeper, instead of using your fingertips, what I like doing is kind of bending my fingers like this and using my knuckle. And this is great because you get more of a surface area on your face between the two knuckles here. So again, you can push into the muscle. I like this. This is kind of my go-to when I'm feeling headachy. If I'm feeling a lot of heaviness, I just kind of jam my knuckles into this muscle here. And again, you can open your mouth and close. I find I just can target more of the muscle, go a little bit deeper. And then from here, you can glide or you can do point compressions. But if you're starting you're further back on the jaw here, and then just gliding along the upper jawbone. This is where we get to do the squishy face and all the way to your nose. Again, you can do point compressions if you don't have that gliding action, if you don't have the oil, or you can glide right along. And again, it'll feel kind of bumpy. You'll feel your teeth, but it'll feel so relieving and good. And again, you can do this with opening up your mouth. How does this feel, you guys? Smile, thumbs up, awesome. So you can do the same kind of action, but work your way down through. Amazing, awesome, Anita. You can do the same thing, but doing the lower jaw. So I don't know if you can see from the side here. So you can kind of get an idea of how good that feels, where the points are. You can also do just a straight static stretch. So the stretch that we did before is more dynamic, where we were opening and closing the mouth. So more of a static stretch, relieving pressure in my eyes. Awesome. Okay. So good. This is like the easiest way to massage yourself. It's hard to do your shoulders and other areas, but if you can alleviate the tension to the face, it's awesome. Okay. So static stretch would be taking your two fingers. I wash my hands. If you haven't washed your hands, you may or may not want to do this, but you just place them on your teeth. And pull your mouth down. So in the moment when you're doing that stretch, it feels a bit like a stretch, but not like you're stretching your hamstring or your quad. It's a little bit different. I find you feel the relief when you actually release the stretch. So if you pull your jaw down, and again, do this within your tolerance. If you're feeling pain, stop, but kind of see how far you can go down, what the range of motion is. And then once you reach that end of range, hold that stretch, take a breath or two, and then slowly release. And it's that release that you can feel that you did a stretch, and it feels really nice in through the jaw. You can also puff your cheeks out. That's a way to stretch that muscle as well. So yeah, you can pull your jaw down or puff your cheeks out. You can even exaggerate a smile or a oh, anything to kind of really move the mouth and cheeks around. That'll help stretch the muscles as well. And then one other muscle I'll touch on is the temporalis muscle, because this is also responsible for clenching the jaw, and it's located on the side of your head. So again, taking your palms, putting it on the side, and then clenching. And then you can feel that muscle pop out into the palms of your hand. So from here, you can take your fingertips and you can just do some massage and through your hairline. Move your fingers around. And this feels really good, especially if you're feeling the pressure in through the head. And you can work your way down to your temples, doing circular motions through the temples, and even up through your eyebrows. You can kind of pinch your eyebrows.
I might as well start.
Yeah. And then to kind of finish off, it feels really good. I'm not sure if I can do it with these earbuds in, but pinching your ears and pulling them away from your head feels really good. There's a whole fascial chain from your head down through your ears and down your neck. So pinching them and pulling them out, and even moving them and wiggling them around can feel really, really good. Okay, I'm just gonna look at my notes, make sure I remembered everything. I think we covered everything. And then you can just finish by, again, deep breathing, check the tension in through your jaw, relax that tongue. If it's pressed up against the roof of the mouth, guaranteed you're clenching and doing something with your jaw. So relaxing your tongue and just rolling your shoulders to finish it off.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
So while people are driving or doing laundry or whatever you're doing, just, massage your jaw. Really.
You can do it while you're washing your face at night, when you're in the shower. Yeah, when you're at a red light, or just when you just need to take a moment to address the tension.
It's amazing how neglected our jaw is, and yet we use those muscles every day. So.
Yeah, and often subconsciously. So we're holding a lot of tension in through there.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for that self-care tool.
You're welcome.
Now we are moving into our, well, as I continue to massage my face, we thought it would be perfect to now move into our meditation and mindset component with Sandra Pribinac, registered psychotherapist and body-centered psychotherapist. Sandra also has experience with craniosacral techniques, and she's just another beautiful sister who I actually came to know at my yoga studio, and which is another community, and really the value of community is so important. And so Sandra,
Hey.
Here we are. Okay, great. And so the floor is yours to guide us through the self-love visualization.
Yeah. Hi. I love that we did this at the beginning, because like you said, it gets so, I'll use I statements. I forget that I have a face and a head, with muscles and joints and tendons, because it's a good intro to body work and generally just coming into the body. So a lot of my day-to-day work is really reminding myself and people that I work with that we have this one body. Like, this is it. There is actually no other. So like, this is the spacesuit that we got for this time around, and how much we pay attention to it or not. And especially, within the circumstances like today with the pandemic and everything, how easy it is to go up here into the intellect and, action and trying to, do things and stay healthy and okay, and how much we pay attention to anything below the neck. The front of our body is one of the most vulnerable parts of us. We'll pay a little bit more attention to that today during the visualization. It's the part of us that meets the world. So oftentimes we protect it in different ways, rigidify, do the shallow breath, suck the belly in, what have you. So we'll pay a little bit attention to that. And then what I'm going to do today is something we call self-healing or self-loving visualization, and you can do it anytime, any day. It's very easy, and I'll guide you through it. But it's basically putting a hand on a heart and a belly. And there are many reasons why we choose those two places. One of my dear teachers says that we women, we have a uterus, and we can create in the uterus, but we also have a heart, so that you have a uterus in your belly and you have a uterus in your heart, whether you ever bear children or not, that your ideas, dreams, hopes are born from the heart and through the uterus. So it's so important that those two places, the belly and the heart, talk to each other, or that we introduce them to each other. So we'll do a little bit of that. The other part why those two places are really important is you can Google something called the vagus nerve, which people are talking about a lot now, but it's been around for a long time. Is this amazing nerve called also soul nerve, because it literally connects your body to the brain, and it does a lot of talking. And there are a couple of interesting places where that nerve connects to our physical body. One of them is this huge nerves network in the belly, which literally looks like this, and it holds your guts. So when you have a gut feeling, you have a vagus nerve feeling. So that's in the belly. And the other place that the vagus also comes, it's in the face, the eyes, the ears, swallowing, breathing, so the lungs and the heart. So those two places are important because it also helps our nervous system, our autonomous nervous system, which can get very loud in the circumstances that we live in, to calm down and settle. Okay? All right. So I won't talk much longer. So let's just go into the meditation or visualization. There is no right or wrong way of doing it. Those of you who have been here last week have heard me say that, the only thing you can do is you can imagine the things that I say, or you can really kind of become aware of it in your body, or you can just listen to my voice. Whichever way works for you is fine, whatever feels safe. It is important that you feel grounded, which means that you have your feet on the ground, or if you're sitting cross-legged, that you can feel your sit bones, or if you're lying, to become aware of the way that the floor or sofa holds your body. And if you feel safe, and if this is okay for you to close your eyes, please do that. If not, you can just allow your gaze to kind of fall down. And I will do that too, so you don't have to feel uncomfortable that I'm looking at you while you're doing it. So take a moment to just become aware of the floor beneath your feet or beneath your sit bones, and the steadiness of the floor, which also symbolizes the steadiness of the earth below the house that you are in, really anchoring us to this moment, to this planet right now. And notice the way that the chair holds your body, or a bed or a sofa if you're lying down, so that you don't have to do anything. And then also the way that your spine holds your body, every vertebrae on top of the next, with little spaces in between, cushioning from your tail all the way to the head, so that there is this inner structure that holds your body as well. And then bringing your attention to your breath, and simply noticing that you are in the body that's already breathing, and that you don't have to do anything to breathe. So just allowing this gentle wave of inhales and exhales to sweep through you as you breathe. Every inhale expanding, every exhale letting go. And noticing different places where the breath touches inside of your body. Maybe as you breathe, you will feel it when you inhale in your nose, or maybe in the back of your throat. Maybe you will feel the gentle rising and falling of your chest as you breathe. Maybe even in the middle of your chest. the rising and falling of your heart center. And if it's safe and okay, allowing that breath to drop all the way to your belly, rising and falling, gentle rising and falling in your belly. And like I said, the front of the body is this part of us that meets the world. And it has many different ways that it protects itself. It learned how to protect itself. So we're going to do a quick scan from top of the head down, just to become aware and give this permission to the front of the body to soften a little bit. So softening your forehead, your eyebrows, the space between your eyebrows, softening your eyes. So although your eyes are closed and you are gazing into yourself, that maybe you can look inside with a little bit more empathy, compassion for yourself. And softening your cheeks and your tongue and your jaw. And imagining that the next time when you inhale and the air comes in and expands, that it can create a little bit more space in the head for any thoughts that might be there. And then relaxing your neck, your throat, softening the throat so the air can move. And your shoulders, your shoulder blades, your chest, your heart center right there below the sternum. And imagining that as you inhale and the new air sweeps in and expands, that it can create a little bit more space in your chest for any feelings that might live there. And then relaxing your belly and imagining that all the big important organs can relax, like that your liver can soften, that your kidneys can relax, your spleen, that your intestine can relax. Everything held between the hips, so that when the next breath comes in and expands, that it can create a little bit more space in your belly for the gut feelings, for the intuition that lives there, the inner stories. And then as you breathe, relaxing the hips, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, your feet. Just like we did last time, imagining that your feet could grow roots, or that your physical feet also have energy feet, identical to the physical ones, just made of energy, that can drop below the floor and through the entire building, the house that you are in, through the construction, all the way down into the earth. And for that movement to happen without any effort, just dropping the energy feet down, like throwing a pebble into a lake, and the pebble knows how to go deep, really centering, rooting, anchoring you. Okay. And then whenever you feel ready, placing one hand on your belly and the other hand on the heart center, right there on your sternum, below the sternum. So it's between your breasts. If that feels okay, if for whatever reason that does not feel comfortable, feel free to take a pillow and have a pillow covering your belly and your heart center, or a blanket. But do it very intentionally so that you know that that pillow or that blanket is there to really help your belly and your heart center connect and relax and feel somewhat safe. And then for those of us who have the hands on the belly and on the heart, bring your attention like all the way down into the belly, feeling the warmth of your hand and the physical touch and the contact. Allowing that warmth to radiate through the belly. Letting your belly know, I'm here. And in the same way, on the heart center, feeling the warmth, the touch, contact, your own hand on the heart, allowing that warmth to radiate in the heart center. You might feel it differently in the belly and differently on the heart. That's okay. You might be able to hold the awareness of both places at the same time. It's not necessary. If you can, great. If not, that's totally fine. And giving permission that that warmth radiates into the belly, into the heart, and fill it up, nourish yourself with this contact, with presence to this one body, this resilient body that has been taking you around, that you've been living in. This vulnerable body, this beautiful wild body. And taking a moment to really remember this experience, knowing that you can always go back to this place, that all it takes is taking a moment to find your breath, to really ground through your feet, and then placing a hand on a belly and on the heart and just resting it there, allowing the belly and heart to begin to talk to each other. And then whenever you feel complete, very gently coming back to the here and now, very gently disconnecting from the belly and the heart. And when you're ready, when you open your eyes, allowing your gaze to settle somewhere, to orient you in the space before connecting with others. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandra. We need more of that in our day and in our lives. I love that you incorporated the word wild in there, part of our theme. And I always love when you speak about energy beat. It really resonates with me.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are moving into our part 2 of our mindset component with Shauna Barnes, who is a leadership coach, a facilitator, and a corporate educator. Shauna brings just a wealth of knowledge in this area of leadership and coaching. And as an aside, what I find most interesting is I met Shauna through Sjoukje. So this is the sisterhood and it's magic. And it wasn't until Shauna and I planned Sjoukje's bridal shower where I really recognized just how skilled she is. So the amount of detail she brought to this was amazing. And so that's just a little fun side example of Shauna and her expertise and how she just shines above. So Shauna, if you're unmuted, I will pass the sister conch to you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. It's so wonderful to gather together. And although under very unique circumstances to be doing it over a screen, I am grateful for women like Tara who are bringing other women together. And thank you so much to Sjoukje and Sandra already for, an afternoon and just the gift of permission. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing a desire for that in this season, but that permission to actually go inward, to give yourself, whether it's 5 minutes and a few deep breaths, or as Sjoukje said, at the red light, if you happen to be out and about, but just this chance to actually give yourself a gift in what can be a very complicated and challenging season. I feel like it's important at times, and although the media cycle is telling us so often that we are living in a pandemic, I think sometimes I see this in my own life and in the life of my clients, this desire to, get back to normal, and I don't know if anyone else is feeling that way, or I had a thought over the weekend, what was the normal before now? Because so much has changed. And so there are these moments that we find ourselves in where I think it's an invitation for you to look at different areas of your own well-being. And although living through a pandemic, I think some people have experienced, really beautiful seasons and some much more challenging. And what I'm seeing most consistently is good moments and tough moments. And isn't that a big part of life, going through these things? So I want to give you an invitation to look at a structure together. I love working with individuals and teams and looking at this idea of well-being. What makes the well-being conversation a little bit more challenging is our own well-being is what sits inside of us. And so how do we get that out and make it visible so that we can then know, how could we address maybe areas of our life or our well-being where we're experiencing some areas of feeling stuck or challenged, or maybe areas that we even want to celebrate in terms of how we're doing with our well-being, but we don't necessarily maybe have the words or the access to understanding that more. So I'm going to invite you, we're going to do this structure together, and I'd love for you to engage in the chat so that this can be as interactive as we can in a short period of time. But if you did bring a pen and piece of paper with you, or if you have access to get that, I am going to invite you to get that now. And I'd like you just to draw a big circle on your paper and then create 8 sections in your circle. So we could think of it as a decadent piece of pie with 8 yummy parts. And each one of these sections, I'm going to give you a chance to explore in a few moments. And we started this call with the invitation around vulnerability. And so this is going to invite you just to take some moments to dial that up maybe a little bit for yourself, but knowing that you're not going to be asked to share your wheel with anyone else on the call. But I will invite people on the chat as we're going through it. If you're finding things that you are learning that are new or interesting, please let us know. So as a community, we can learn from each other. So I think most of you have been able to get a piece of paper. If you haven't, please stay along with us. And these sections and these areas can be helpful for you to hear. And even if you catch one or two, you'll still be able to work with us through this. So you've got your circle on your page, 8 sections. I'm going to give you a chance now. You're going to label on the inside of each of your slices of pie a different part of the area of well-being we're going to explore today. So the first one is finances. So you can write that in section 1 for yourself. The next one after finances is physical health. So that looks at nutrition. Tara's going to talk a little bit about that, but is always available to do that in such a wonderful way. And that's also your fitness, physical activity. So that's your physical health. The next one is your spiritual health and well-being. So spiritual is the next box. So we've got finances, physical health, and spiritual so far. Then your emotional area. So this is the area of your feelings. The next one is the next one is positive relationships. So relationships in your life. This is the social component right now that looks very different in our lives. And then career is the next section. And I will review these at the end. Your physical environment. That is the space now where we are spending a lot of time, aren't we? I think all of our physical environments have been highlighted either for the good, or if you're like me, I have a basement that needs major tending to. So your physical environment is another place. And then your intellectual part of yourself. So your skills, your creativity, hobbies could sit in that area as well. So you've got 8 slices of pie. We're looking at finances, physical health, spiritual, emotional, social, those relationships in your life, career, physical environment, intellectual. And so those are our 8 sections. And what I'd like you to do is just an invitation now to imagine yourself floating up about 600,000 feet over this wheel that is looking at all of these different sections of your well-being sitting inside of you. And so you're kind of hovering over looking at this wheel right now with just words on it. But what I want you to do is take a moment and imagine yourself standing in each one of these sections and give yourself a rating in terms of where you find yourself right now in this season, in this moment of your life. Not maybe where you were this morning or where you will be after this call, but right now in this moment, as you stand in finances, think to yourself from 1 to 10 right now, how fulfilled, how well do you feel in that area of your life? 10 would be that you feel very well, very confident in that area of your life. That's an area where experiencing a great sense of wellness. A 1 or a 0 would be perhaps that's a place right now, and I'm mindful, this could be a very tender place right now. Maybe you're feeling despair here. That would be a 1 or 0. So can I get a thumbs up that you get a sense of you're indicating you're going to each section in your wheel, 0 to 10? Okay, great. So I'm going to give everyone a chance now. Go through your wheel, take your time, and really think about where are you in this moment in this particular area of your life. Go ahead and begin. I see a few of you have completed. If you haven't, just take another moment and give yourself that chance to really stand in the areas that remain, noticing what's coming up for you as you take a moment to go inward and look at these places. Perhaps you could give me a thumbs up if you're complete. And if you're not, you can just continue to take your time for a moment and catch up to us. I know we want to be in a space of moving forward, but not rushing. So what I'd like you to do now is, as you take a look at this well-being wheel, and there are a variety of sources that you can go out and look at these. Sometimes they are much more focused on looking at whole life or wellness. Work Lab and other areas have them. But as you just take a look, just notice if this became a wheel, how bumpy would your well-being ride be internally? So as you look at your numbers, do you notice patterns? What is consistent for you? What's the surprise as you look at the numbers and as you tune into where you're at right now? So just bring what seems consistent to you in terms of how you are experiencing yourself right now, bring that to mind. Or perhaps what is surprising to you? What number surprised you? And what I want to invite you to do, and it's so wonderful that Sandra started us on this journey already, is I want you to pick one of the areas right now where you want to experience more freedom in this season in your life. So take a look at one of the areas, and if one area you could spend a little bit more time or pay more attention to get more freedom in, what area would that be? So just take a look, notice that, perhaps circle that area so that it's very visible for you. And once you've got that area, I want you right now just to place your hands on your head and just bring to mind, what are your thoughts right now about this area in your life? Just let your head do the talking right now. With no judgment to yourself or your thoughts, just bring the thoughts to mind about this area. Notice what's coming up for you. Thank you for sharing. There's some emotion. There's some surprise. Thank you for bringing that into the space. I want you now to place your hands on your heart. And Sandra led us here not long ago. Just take some deep breaths into your heart. What is your heart saying to you? What's calling you to this area of noticing in your life and in your well-being? Some may notice a sense of urgency to take care of that area. But whatever it is, don't judge it. Just allow yourself to notice. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm seeing a sense of people feeling a need to forgive or be open or be free. How beautiful is that? And so as we come to this place, I want you to be able to have a tool to go back to look at your well-being. And this is a wonderful tool. You can do this in a week or a few days again to get a better sense and to tune in again to what is happening in your life. It also gives you a chance to then put some action around maybe some steps that you may want to take in a certain area of your life. So I encourage you to do that, whether that's journaling about that or speaking to a loved one or a friend, or just even taking a moment to acknowledge yourself for where you're at in that area. And then that tool of going between your head and your heart. You know, sometimes we're very driven by our head and our thinking, and although extremely valuable, sometimes we're over functioning in one area, a lot of head and not a lot of heart, or a lot of heart and yet we want to invite the head into that place. And there's a beautiful intersection when both our head and our heart are engaged that actually helps to grow our fulfillment and our well-being in any area of our life. And so perhaps today or at another time, you can, if you have a decision to make that's challenging, if you want to look at another area of your well-being in your life and you want to grant yourself some more permission to move into action, reconnecting with your head and your heart very simply and using the body can be helpful in terms of making a next step available to you. Thanks so much for sharing more in the chat about what this process has been like for you. If you've never worked with a wheel or worked with a coach, I just am grateful for your openness to try something new. And I'm hopeful that this tool will continue to be a help to you and to others in your life as you continue to journey forward.
Thank you so much, Shauna. That was so great. I love how holistic and practical that exercise is. And I love the idea of bringing the heart into it as well, because I think that's kind of our superpower as, you know, the feminine is really using that heart energy. So I'm really going to put some time aside, I think, this week to get further into that. So we're going to move into the micronutrient portion. And the next speaker really needs no introduction. It's Dr. Tara Campbell. I just want to briefly say, I mean, I'm sure all of you know her already, but just in case there's some people who are new here or who came here through a friend, Dr. Tara is the founder of the Higher Health Center and of the Sisterhood. And I have had the pleasure of working with her for the last few years, and she's a true sister to me. And she really exemplifies this idea of community and bringing people together on this healing journey. And today she'll be speaking to us about a really beautiful herb, lavender. I'm sure you guys have all heard of it. And she's going to share about its beautiful properties for women.
Thank you so much, Kira. Just as I have all the faces staring at me and knowing what I'm going to be speaking about, I think it's very appropriate. And a few years ago, I was approached by Sleep Country, actually, to do a commercial on a new pillow they were launching, and it was a lavender pillow. And it was kind of funny screening the call. My front desk at the time said, "I think it's legitimate. I think they're calling. They are calling from Sleep Country." So it was just a really fun experience, and I'll always remember the line I said in this commercial. So here goes. I tell my clients, and research shows, the scent of lavender can calm anxiety, reduce stress, and really promote a deeper quality of sleep. So they taught me how to emphasize and really promote a deeper quality of sleep. And so as I'm speaking about lavender and sharing my love for this botanical, I'm channeling that energy to calm any anxiety of speaking to all of you on this platform, because it can be overwhelming. So really, the problem we have here is anxiety, depression, and insomnia are among the most prevalent health concerns we see. And I think all of our health sisters here can attest to seeing this on a day-to-day in our practices. So some interesting statistics about 20% of the population experiences anxiety and depression. They often go hand in hand, and about 80% of people with insomnia or anxiety suffer with insomnia and sleep disturbances, and 25% report restlessness. So I want you to think of lavender think of lavender as calming anxiety, improving sleep quality, reducing restlessness, and easing mild symptoms of depression. And I should also say, what I speak about here is for informational purposes only. Definitely reach out to us and ask us more about lavender and if it applies to your specific health concerns and needs. It is quite safe, has a very good safety profile. So a lot of research has been done on lavender compared with antidepressants. And so it's really interesting to delve into that. And also, it's important to note that women are twice as likely to experience anxiety as men. And about 30% of the population overall complains of sleep disturbances. So I'm pretty confident in saying all of us at some point have experienced anxiety, maybe symptoms of mild depression or lower mood, and sleep disruption. Give me a hand or a thumbs up if yes, you can experience. And if you don't put your thumb up, then please share your secret with us. Okay, so symptoms of poor sleep include irritability, drowsiness, needing coffee, difficulty thinking clearly, and even physical symptoms like hair loss. That's a key symptom I hear in daily practices, and I'm losing my hair. And really this stems from hormone-based imbalance, and unresolved anxiety or unaddressed anxiety. And I think the real root can also pair with poor sleep quality. So when we're feeling anxious, when we're restless, of course your sleep is going to suffer. So let's delve in and really support a healthy sleep quality, and so that you can see improvements in the mood and hormone area as well. I think we can all agree that we want to sleep well, we want to wake refreshed in the morning, we want to be able to take on the day with energy, with a calm mind, clear thinking, and a positive mindset and mood. Yes? And okay, so lavender, it comes in different forms. So it is, the purple flower. So from the purple flower, we can benefit from lavender in terms of the actual botanical and tea, to essential oil. So Sjoukje actually is quite an expert in essential oil use, and this is probably one of the most popular oils, right, Sjoukje? The most commonly used. Actually, just type into the chat if you have ever used any form of lavender and give us the form that you have used it in. And my favorite use as a naturopathic doctor, or my favorite form as a naturopathic doctor, is actually in capsule form. So this way it can be quite regulated in terms of dosing. And so what we see with the dosing is it's 80 to 160 milligrams that is needed to have that calming, sleep supportive role. So I do know our time is dwindling, and I would really love to speak with lavender further, and we'll include some summary notes in the email that we send to you. But just sharing a personal story with lavender, I always love experimenting with different supplements. I'm not a big supplement person, but I do find there is a place for them. And so when something really speaks to me, I will recommend it. So lavender was one. I thought, oh, that's interesting. You can take it in capsule form. And so I took it myself one night along with magnesium. And I thought, oh yeah, this will be, there's always some element of anxiety, and magnesium is so good for sleep and many things. So I remember waking up at 4 in the morning and thinking, okay, ready to go. Okay, what time is it? It's time to get up and get going. And I looked at my clock and saw it was 4 a.m. And I thought, oh my gosh, I had had the deepest sleep. I was so refreshed, and I thought it was 7 in the morning. So that lavender sap or lavender supplement, it is called lavender sap, shaved off 3 hours, helped me get that extra 3 hours without really noticing time-wise. So that was eye-opening to me. And I also took it one time during the day, and I remember I thought, oh, that just calmed the edge of anxiety. And I felt like I was going to fall right to sleep at 3 o'clock in the afternoon while trying to work on a project. And then it passed after about a half an hour. But so lavender is a beautiful botanical with so many health benefits. And you know, even taking the essential oil and rubbing it on the base of your feet or spraying it on your pillow. Yeah, just have lavender in your mind for what I've spoken about. Okay, so to close off, we have an amazing, just an extra special bonus here. And really what happened was my friend Ann Ketty, so Ann, if you can unmute yourself, and I hope you pop up at the top of my screen here. Ann was telling me about this exercise she did with one of her clients. And as she was telling me the story, I just went, Ann, can you join our sisterhood on Monday and share that exact story with everyone? And it's so timely given we've just celebrated Mother's Day, and I like to call it Women's Day. And so Ann, can you share this bonus story with us and bonus exercise?
Okay, so I know we just have a couple minutes. Thank you, Tara, by the way, to invite me into this wonderful sisterhood. So in light of Mother's Day just gone by, the story just tied into the beauty of Mother Earth and the planet. And I've been finding I have quite a few clients who are craving connection, craving touch, craving love. And it's amazing to get love and hugs from our nuclear family that we're isolating with. But a lot of them are needing more from something outside of themselves. And so I started with my clients something called tree therapy, because we all need to go out and hug a tree. Trees are living organisms. They have the same electromagnetic fields that we have, and they are connected to the power and the beauty and the wisdom of the planet Earth. And who better than to nurture our souls right now than to really deeply connect with nature and invite that wisdom and connection into our world. The idea of hugging a tree can seem kind of silly to a lot of people, but if you know me well, you'll know I hug trees regularly. And I love the fact that it's kind of playful and silly and childlike, because that's another element that we need to bring back into our lives. When we connect into that sense of radiance and joy, it literally turns on an energetic system within our energetic bodies called the radiant circuit. And that is what they are, is radiance. This is what we need to nourish ourselves, to replenish our energies, and bring us back some of our vitality that is kind of running low right now. A lot of our batteries feel like, you know, you look at the little symbol of the battery in the corner of your screen and it's just a little bit there. We need, the planet Earth is our charging pad. And when we connect in with a tree, you're getting such lovely sourcing of energy. So I invite you all to hug a tree, be silly, be childlike, get your love on and hug the tree. And let me tell you, don't just hug and then let it go. Give it a minute. Let the tree hug you back. Feel that synchronicity and exchange of energy between you and this beautiful expression of life. Trees, if you think about it, are what provide us with our oxygen. They're the lungs of the planet. They are vitality. They are literally inspiration. They're also exhalation and how we let go. So do it in your backyard if you feel like you need a little bit of privacy on this one, but invite your kids to do it too. They won't think it's crazy or weird. They're going to think it's just fantastic. Make a chain of hands around a tree and give some love to that tree. So hold on, wait until you feel a connection coming back. Then I want you to turn around and align your spine along the bark of the tree, along the spine of the tree. Along our spines, as we know, is so intimately connected to our central nervous system. We really want to turn on our parasympathetic nervous system, get our vagal tone high, which is what Sandra was talking about. When you connect your spine with the spine of the tree, again, you are coming into harmony and synchronicity with energies that hold incredible healing powers. So I just wanted to keep it short and sweet. But if you guys wouldn't mind, I don't know how to do this, Tara, but could we start a little movement, like a hashtag tree therapy? I want you all to like go out on a whim and hug a darn tree. Get your friends and families to do it too, and see how it makes you feel. It will, I promise you, bring a smile to your face. Right?
Right. And and I just feel like I'm smiling ear to ear listening to you. So you can see why I love Ann Kennedy. And just also, I typed it in the chat, but Ann is an energy medicine practitioner. So hug a tree and hashtag tree therapy for higher health, hashtag higher health, and the sisterhood of health. And thank you so much, everyone. A quick note, we are skipping next week, but we do have a surprise coming to your inbox on Monday. It's Long Weekend Monday, and so hug many trees that weekend and all throughout the week. Think of your wild, resilient, and what was the second? Wild, resilient, and
Vulnerable.
And vulnerable. Oh my gosh, yes. And then we will reconvene on the 25th. So thank you so much, everyone, and have a really wonderful day and week. And if all the main sisters can stay, we'll get that picture.
Bye, thanks.
Thanks, Renata.
Thank you, Tara.
Bye, Shauna.
Thank you, Mary Elena.
Bye, Shauna.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, Renata. Great to have
Hey.
you. Great to have so many on.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, Amanda.
I'm going to go too, Tara. See you later, Skater.
All right. We'll
Do you want me to stay or do you want me to go?
Yeah, no, if you can stay. Are you able to?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
We need you in the picture if you can. Where are we at now? 16. Bye, Suzanne. Thanks for joining. And Deanna, you're going to stay on, right? Great. Bye, Judith.
Oh, bye, Judith.
Bye. All right. Oh, hi, Janice. So nice to see you. I love your pink headband. I'll unmute you. Okay, so everybody can unmute.
Yeah, thank you. It's getting desperate.
Oh, secretly, I had my hair done on Friday.
Oh, who had your hair done?
Well, my hair person was trying to get ahead of the curve, and so she said, "I'm just doing my friend's hair." So,
Oh my gosh, so nice.
yeah, it was
So
nice.
you took full advantage. Yeah.
Watch out. Oh, please stop it. Stop now.
We're just going to be taking a picture here of the team, so we'll say goodbye.
Kira, am I in the dark? Am I in the shadow? Should I move to
Nope,
have
Sandra,
better
you're
light?
good. You're good.
Okay.
Yep. And then Jay's mom is still hanging in there.
People are still on.
There, Suzanne. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh, there.
No, she's still there. Okay, Jay's fun. And then, okay. Well, I can put a picture over those spots. Okay. So everybody give a wave. And then do the hands together. 1 second here. Just wait for the, okay. So hands together. Great. Awesome, everyone. That was so good. I'm going to go
Thank you.
Hug a tree.
I'm so inspired now.
Shauna, I really enjoyed the wellness wheel. We have to dig deeper
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, happy
It's a
to.
good exercise.
There was a great connection amongst all of us, I loved that because we knew the theme, but you know, Sandra, from your work right into the wheel worked so well, and Sjoukje starting us all off. I think that was really beautiful.
Yeah, it just had a great flow.
Yes.
So be strong, be wild, be vulnerable. And
Vulnerable.
Resilient.
yeah,
Sounds good.
Bye,
Have a good afternoon, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.